Alright, dude. This process is called dimensional analysis. Definitely good to use that phrase because using big math terms intimidates people who don't know anything about math. But it's actually something kind of simple. So if you're looking at converting 153 feet in 2.2 seconds to miles per hour, the first thing you need to do is convert 153 feet in 2.2 seconds into a rate. Alright, so changing into a rate means that you're going to see how many feet you were going in just 1 second, which puts a 1 in the bottom of a fraction. So what I mean by this is, I'm going to write, I couldn't find my computer pen, so I'll do my best to do this, but it might take a little bit of time. So 153 feet per 2.2 seconds is the same thing as if I wrote it as a fraction. Alright, so 2.2. This does take a little bit longer than I thought. Sorry, not the best video you've probably ever watched on the internet. Alright, so remember, a fraction bar is division, so I'm going to take 153 and divide that by 2.2. I'm also going to divide the word feet by the word seconds. So what that does for you is, well, you're not actually going to see that part happen, but what that does is it gives me a 1 second in the denominator. So 1 second. And then that's going to give me, I already did that math, about 69.55 feet. So 69.55 feet. I also don't have a mouse, so like I'm using like a trackpad to write all this stuff, so I'm sorry that's taking a long time. It's a little sloppy. Alright, so the reason why we write it like that, so that means you're driving 69.55 feet per every second. What we're going to do now is we're going to use this thing called dimensional analysis, which is going to change that from feet per second into miles per hour. So what dimensional analysis does is it multiplies your original thing right here, this 69.55 feet per 1 second. See if I can do something here. And it's going to multiply it by a bunch of fractions that essentially equal 1, because anything times the number 1 is just equal to itself. Like, 2 times 1 is 2, 75 times 1 is 75, so forth, so on. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply it by a bunch of fractions that to convert that seconds to hours. So I'm going to do times. That's beautiful, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to write 60 seconds up here. Alright, and I'll show you why in a second. So 60 seconds. And we need to find out what is 60 seconds equal to in minutes. That's equal to 1 minute. Alright, so the reason why we do that, remember, is because we want this fraction here to be equal to 1. So we're going to change the way this guy looks, but we're not going to change its value. The reason why 60 seconds divided by 1 minute is equal to a value of 1 is because 60 seconds and 1 minute are the same thing. So something divided by itself is also equal to 1. Alright, so it's important that I put the seconds up top. Because if you remember back from algebra, which you may or may not, if you have something on the top of a fraction and something on the bottom, you can cross those off. So if you look, once we do this multiplication, we'll get rid of our seconds and we'll be left with minutes. Alright, but we want hours, sorry. It's hard to do this and talk at the same time. Alright, so I'm going to get my hours here, so I'm going to multiply by another fraction. Alright, and I want to cancel out the word minutes, so that means I have to have minutes in my numerator, or the top of the fraction. So minutes. Alright, so, and I want hours. So I'm going to have 1 hour, got to think about what is 1 hour equal to, and that's equal to 60 minutes. So I'll put that there. Alright, and we'll worry about crossing off the words later. Okay, so those minutes will cross off eventually, which is going to leave me with hours on the bottom, and if we were talking about miles per hour, in fraction form, the hour would be on the bottom. So that's good. Alright, now I need to change this feet into miles, so I'm going to say this. I need the word feet to be on the bottom here so that they will cross off. Alright, so, and I'm going to put 1 mile on top because I want to know how many miles per hour. So I'm going to write miles here. Alright, I won't do the plural. Alright, so you need to know how many feet are in a mile, and that answer is 5,280. 5,280. Alright, so that doesn't look that great. Alright, so now this is my favorite part where you get to cross off all the words. I know, shut up. Alright, just shut up. Anyway, cross off minutes and minutes, feet and feet. And we know we don't have to do any more conversions because, as you can see, all the words are crossed off except for mile per hour, which is awesome. Okay, so, and again, like I said, since each of these are equal, 60 seconds is 1 minute, so that's fraction is equal to the number 1. 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour, so that's equal to number 1, and 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, so that's equal to 1. So, like I said, this is eventually going to change the way this guy looks, but it's not going to change the value. Alright, so now we have a multiplication problem. Remember, when you're multiplying fractions, if you don't have a calculator that'll let you type in fractions all together, when you multiply fractions, okay, you multiply the numerators, or the top numbers, by each other, and write that up top. Then you write the denominators times each other, which is the bottom numbers, and write that there. Alright, also we're going to write our words. Alright, the only word we have left up top is mile. I'm just going to put an M because I'm tired of writing and talking. So that's an M. And I'm going to put the word hour down here because that's what's left. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to bring up this little calculator here. Where are you at? Alright, cool. So, we're just going to multiply the top numbers together. So 69.55 times 60 times 60 is equal to 250,380. Alright, so that's not going to seem too terribly helpful here right away, but bear with me. So 250,380. So 250,000. Rorschach stop. 380. Alright. Not the best video I've ever made. Alright, and then 1 times 1 times 1 times 5,280 is just 5,280. Alright, so again, that's not too helpful. If you tell a judge that you were going 250,380 feet in, 5,280 hours, he's going to look at you like you're an idiot. So what you need to do is you need to convert that into a rate, and remember, we convert that into a rate by taking the numerator and dividing it by the denominator. That's still going to leave us with miles per 1 hour. If we go over to the handy dandy calculator, where did that go? I put it down there. Alright, we'll do 250,380 divided by 5,280, and that'll give us 47.42 miles per 1 hour for 47.42. So 47 0.42 miles per 1 hour. So hopefully that helps, man. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm probably never going to watch this video again because it's probably real boring. But, I mean, hopefully it helps you learn to do what you got to do. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Let me know if this works.